Hello and welcome back to Suchitra's Biology. Today we are going to discuss about the TCA cycle or the citric acid cycle. TCA cycle or citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle. These are the names of the cycle that can be called. Now let's see what happens actually in this. Two acetyl CoA NAD plus FAD plus ADP or GDP gets converted to 3 NADH plus 1 FADH2 plus 1 ATP or ADP plus 2 CO2. Okay, so this is the overall reaction of the TCA cycle or the citric acid cycle. 2 acetyl CoA plus 3 NAD plus FAD plus ADP or GDP gets converted into 3 NADH, 1 FADH2 plus 1 ATP or GTP and 2 CO2. Sorry, 4 CO2. 2 CO2 for 1 acetyl CoA, so 2 acetyl CoA, so there will be sorry, this is the reaction for 1 acetyl CoA. If it is for 2 acetyl CoA, everything will be just doubled, like 3 NAD plus 2 FAD plus 2 ADP, 6 NADH will be produced, so everything gets doubled. Okay, so let's see the cycle. TCA cycle occurs in mitochondrial matrix. Okay, location of the TCA or Krebs cycle is mitochondrial matrix in eukaryotes and cytosol. It occurs in cytosol in case of prokaryotes. Okay, so this you need to remember. Glycolysis was occurring in cytosol, right, in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So let's see the TCA cycle. The TCA cycle begins with acetyl CoA plus water combines with oxaloacetate to form citrate. Citrate gets cis-aconitate. Cis-aconitate converts to isocitrate, and isocitrate gets converted into alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate gets converted into succinyl CoA. Succinyl CoA gets converted into succinate. Succinate gets converted into fumarate, and fumarate gets converted into malate, and then malate finally gets converted into oxaloacetate. So this is the oxaloacetate combines with acetyl CoA and water to form citrate. Citrate then forms cis-aconitate. Cis-aconitate forms isocitrate. Isocitrate forms alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate forms succinyl CoA. Succinyl CoA forms succinate. Succinate forms fumarate. Fumarate forms malate, and malate forms oxaloacetate. So oxaloacetate combines with acetyl CoA and water to produce citrate. It is a 6-carbon molecule, while oxaloacetate was 4 carbon. Acetyl CoA is 2-carbon molecule, so 4 plus 2 6 combines to form give a citrate. Okay, that is 6 carbon. Now cis-aconitate is also 6 carbon. Isocitrate is also 6 carbon. This is 6 carbon up to this. Now malate is 4 carbon. Fumarate is also 4 carbon. Okay, this is also 4 carbon molecule. Now acetyl CoA combines with water to form citrate. This is a condensation reaction. Okay, condensation reaction because two elements are combining to form a different product. Now citrate gets converted to 6-aconitate and there is release of H2. So this is a dehydration reaction, dehydration. Now water is again added in the next step, so it is hydration. Okay. Now isocitrate gets converted into alpha ketoglutarate, and there is formation of there is release of one CO2 and formation of one NADH, production of one NADH and one CO2. The next step also one CO2 is released and one NADH is produced again. In the next step, one GTP, ADP or GTP, ATP or GTP is produced. In the next step, FADH2 is produced, one FADH2 is produced. And in this step, one NADH is produced again. One NADH is produced. Okay. In this step, water is involved. Okay. So this is a oxidative decarboxylation step. Oxidative decarboxylation because there is a removal of CO2. This is also a oxidative decarboxylation because one NADH is produced and CO2 is removed. So these two steps are oxidative decarboxylation. Succinyl CoA is then converted into succinate and there is formation of ATP or GTP. So this step is phosphorylation. Now succinate is converted into fumarase. One FADH2 is produced, so it is reduction. Reducing energy is produced, so it is a reduction step. Now fumarate is converted into malate. This is hydration. Water is added. Now malate is converted into oxaloacetate. Now one more NADH is produced here. Okay. So this is the overall reaction of the TCA cycle. This is the TCA cycle. Okay. Now so condensation was there, condensation, dehydration, hydration, oxidative decarboxylation, then phosphorylation, then reduction, then hydration, and then it again forms oxaloacetate. Okay. So this is the overall reaction of the TCA cycle or the citric acid cycle. Now let's see the enzymes involved. Citrate is formed by the enzyme. Action of the enzyme, citrate synthase. Then citrate is converted to cis-aconitate by enzyme aconitase. This is also catalyzed by aconitase. Okay. Now alpha ketoglutarate is produced by enzyme isocitrate dehydrogenase. Now alpha ketoglutarate is converted to succinyl CoA by enzyme alpha ketoglutarate alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase malate dehydrogenase. And here enzyme involved is fumarase. Here enzyme involved is succinate dehydrogenase. Okay. So first step is catalyzed by citrate synthase, second step is by aconitase, third step is aconitase. Now fourth step is catalyzed by isocitrate dehydrogenase, fifth step is catalyzed by alpha ketoglutarate dehydrogenase. Next step is catalyzed by succinate thiokinase. The next step is catalyzed by succinate dehydrogenase because the reducing power are produced like FADH2, NADH. Okay. Now the succinate is converted into fumarate. Fumarate is converted into malate by fumarase. Malate is converted into oxaloacetate by the enzyme malate dehydrogenase because again a reducing power or reducing energy is produced. So this is the overall reaction of the TCA cycle. So for one acetyl CoA, for one acetyl CoA, what things are produced? Let's see. 3 NADH are produced. 3 NADH produced. 2 CO2 produced. 1 FADH2 produced. And 1 ATP or either GTP produced for one acetyl CoA. But 2 acetyl CoA comes from the pyruvate oxidation and enter into TCA cycle. So for 2 acetyl CoA, 6 NADH will be produced, 4 CO2 will be produced, 2 FADH2 and 2 GTP will be produced. Okay. So this was all about the TCA cycle or the Krebs cycle. Hope you like the video. Do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.